welcome back to another video. So today I'm actually going to be doing a movie wrap up of the movies I saw in March. I only saw 2 movies in March, but they were both 2 that were on my most anticipated movie releases of 2017. So I do want to kind of talk about them. The first one being Logan. So Logan came out March 3rd, and this is the last movie that we get with Hugh Jackman as Logan, as Wolverine. And, he, in this movie, we see an older Logan. He's at an older age. We also see an older Professor X who is struggling with dementia, which, with his gift, is pretty darn dangerous. But yeah, we see some of the characters that we love. And with Logan, in this movie, Logan meets Laura, this little girl who is a mutant just like him. She's got the same abilities and powers as him, and she's got the claws and everything and the healing ability just like him. And so pretty much he meets Laura and has to kind of go on this journey to take her to the safe place, as there are people that are after her and that are after mutant children like her. And so Logan has to kind of protect her and get her to the safe place that she's trying to go to. So that is pretty much the premise of the movie. I really loved this movie. I enjoyed it a lot. I will say it is a sad one. This is a pretty sad movie, but I feel like it was the perfect conclusion for the characters and for Logan's character. I think this movie was a great conclusion to his character, and I liked what they did with it. Of course, a part of me is always going to wish that things ended up differently and it wasn't so sad, but I do think it was fitting for his character. I will say I loved Laura in this movie, the little girl. Oh my gosh, she is such a badass for a little girl. I was like, whoa, what? So when we see Laura, and she's very, very quiet, but she's always got this look on her face, like this scowl, like, don't mess with me, I will kill you. And then we see her in a fight scene later on, which we kind of saw in the trailer. But we see her in a fight scene, and it's like, damn, you really don't want to mess with her. She may be a little girl, but she will kill you. And so I loved her character. I thought she was so tough, and I loved her. Yeah. I will say I thought Laura was a lot like Logan in terms of their temperament. They're both kind of stubborn and hot-headed, and their temperament is just so similar, which makes sense. I mean, she is his daughter, which I don't think that's really a spoiler, because you can kind of put that together from the trailer. It's really not that hard to put 2 and 2 from the trailer. I kind of figured, when I saw the trailer, I figured she would be his daughter, something like that. So, and she is, and so I'm just like, yeah, I can see it. They've both got the same temperament. They're both hot-headed and stubborn. They're just so much alike. It's crazy. And then speaking of which, I also loved, father-daughter scenes, like parenting scenes almost with them. And I just thought those scenes were so funny. One in particular, and this is one that's in the trailer, but one in particular is when Laura's at the convenience store and the clerk is there talking to her, and he reaches out for her arm, and she flips him over and pulls out her claws on him, and then that's when we see Logan comes in and grabs her arm, and he's like, "No, not okay." And I'm just like, that is just too funny. Parenting 101 from Logan. It was just so, I thought that scene was just so funny. And I was just like, I wish there were more scenes like that with Logan and Laura, because they were so funny and awesome, and I wanted more little scenes like that between them. The last thing I'll kind of say is this movie is probably the most bloody, gory X-Men movie or Logan movie there is. Yeah, I know X-Men movies, Wolverine movies, they have a lot of violence in general, but this one I felt like was the bloodiest and goriest. Like, literally, you saw blood everywhere, blood and guts flying everywhere, and it's like, this is a gory movie. So if you're the type that's very squeamish and don't like to see a lot of blood and gore, this is probably not the best movie for you, because there's a lot of it in here. But I still really enjoyed it nonetheless. Like I said, I thought it was a fitting end for a fitting conclusion for his character, and I just liked how they did the story and where they went with it. So yeah, if you guys haven't seen Logan, I would definitely recommend it if you get a chance to see it. I think it's still playing in theaters. I want to say, I'm not sure. But yeah, if you get a chance, I would definitely recommend watching Logan, because it was really good and I loved it. So now I will kind of jump into my next review. The last movie I saw in March was Beauty and the Beast, and that came out March 17th, starring Emma Watson as Belle and Dan Stevens as the Beast. And oh my gosh, I loved this movie. I actually saw it in theater twice. I loved Beauty and the Beast. It was awesome. And one thing I'll say is I did not know Emma could sing. Like, I've never really heard her sing. And seeing her in Beauty and the Beast, and this is a musical, and seeing her sing, I was like, wow, she can really sing. I did not know she could. I really liked Emma as Belle. I thought she was the perfect Belle. Of course, she's great for playing bookish characters. She was Hermione for so many years, and Hermione is such a bookish character, and so Belle, I thought she was perfect for that character as well. I liked that. One thing I really liked was that this live action version of Beauty and the Beast, it did stick to the Disney original version, the original Disney version. It stuck to that, and I think it did a really great job sticking to, the Disney original, but I also like that they added backstory to some of the characters, because I think that was one thing that was kind of missing from the original that I liked having in here, is seeing more of the backstory with the Beast and what happened with his mom and how he was raised. And then also finding out a little bit more of Belle's backstory and like how she lost her mom and why her dad took her away from there. And so we do get more of a backstory with both of their characters, and I thought that added it just added some depth to it, which I really enjoyed. Another thing I really liked about this movie were there were some really funny moments in here, especially with LeFou's character. And LeFou, if you guys remember, he was kind of like Gaston's sidekick. And in this movie, I felt like LeFou, I don't know if he had more of a presence in this one than in the Disney one. I don't remember too much of the Disney one. I haven't rewatched it in a long time. So I don't remember how much we see him in the Disney one. But I think maybe we see him a little bit more in this version. And I just realized I really like LeFou's character. He's just really funny, and he's like really a lovable character in this movie. And I'm just like, I really like his character. I think he became one of my favorite characters in this movie, which, like I said, I don't know if that we just didn't see him that much in the Disney version, because I remember the Disney version, I really didn't care about his character at all. I was like, okay, whatever. I didn't really care about him. But in this version, in the live action version, I don't know what it was, but I just completely fell in love with this character. He was super funny, so great, and he's like one of my favorite characters now. The only downside I will kind of say with this movie is there were some moments that I felt like weren't as intense as they could have been. And that's, mainly because I think of how it was done. Like, there were two scenes that I felt like didn't have the intensity or as strong of an impact as it could have. And one scene is when Beast is knocking on Belle's bedroom door and she refuses to come out to eat with them. And he's like, well, fine, you can stay in there and starve. And then he walks away and he tells Cogsworth and everyone there, like, if she doesn't eat with me, then she doesn't eat at all. And I felt like that scene wasn't as intense or as powerful as the original, as the Disney version. That is one thing I do remember from the Disney version, is I do remember that scene pretty well, because he was really forceful and strong in that scene, and it had such an impact that I think in this version, in the live action, was kind of missing. It wasn't as powerful and intense of a moment. The other moment in here that I think that wasn't as intense as it could have been was when Beast lets Belle go. He let her go to her father, because her father needed help, and he lets her go, and he's, really sad and going through all this stuff. But in this version, in the live action version, they start a new musical number at that moment. The Beast starts singing about kind of his sadness and how he feels. And I don't know, I just felt like that wasn't a good place to put a song in a song. I just felt like it lost the intensity of the moment. Because that moment was pretty intense and sad on its own. But then when he starts singing, I felt like it kind of lost that a bit. So yeah, those are just kind of some of the downsides I've noticed with this movie. But otherwise, I really enjoyed it. I loved this Beauty and the Beast live action version. And I definitely cannot wait for it to come out on DVD because I definitely want to get it. Yeah, those are pretty much my thoughts. That's my wrap up for March. The movies I saw, Logan and Beauty and the Beast. Both awesome, both really great movies. If you guys get a chance, definitely check them out if you haven't already, because they were great. Let me know in the comments below if you've seen Logan or if you've seen Beauty and the Beast. Let me know in the comments below what your thoughts of them were. And I will see you guys soon with another video. Bye.